Hello and welcome, grade 6 learners. I'm glad that you're here watching the Valenzuela Live. I know that you are all excited to learn more about the machines. I'm Ma'am Ana Cunha, your science terrific teacher for today's episode. Don't forget to comment down your name and the name of your school. You can freely use our comment box to ask some questions and for you to participate in our discussion. And don't forget to prepare your science module, notebook, and ballpen for taking down some important ideas. Today's lesson is based on the most essential learning competencies in Science 6. Manipulate, simple machine to describe their characteristics and uses. And at the end of our lesson, you should be able to, number 1, describe, classify, and give applications of a lever. Manipulate how a lever can lift an object. And number 2, describe the characteristics and functions of an inclined plane. And manipulate an inclined plane. So last time, we learned about the different forms of energy and how this energy transforms from one form to another. We already knew that energy is life, and without it, we cannot do anything. We also use different forms of energy in everything that we do. So to start our discussion, let us study the pictures. So what are they doing? Who do you think will finish the work faster? And why? The two men in the picture are doing the same activity. They are both transferring the socks. But as we can observe, the man in picture B is using a cart to carry the socks and transfer it from one place to another. Cart helps him to make his work easier and faster. And the cart is a simple machine. We have a lot of work to accomplish every day. To be able to do work, we must exert force or effort. If we will just make use of our hands or our body to do work, we will apply more body energy and get tired easily. We need objects to lessen the force that we are using and finish our work faster. And these objects that can help us are called simple machines. Simple machines are any devices that make work easier and faster by reducing the effort or force used in doing the work. So what are the different simple machines and how they can help us finishing all our work and daily activities? Simple machine can be classified into two groups: the lever family and the inclined plane family. The lever family is the group of simple machines that includes levers, pulleys, and wheel and axles. While the inclined plane family includes inclined plane, wedge, and screw. But today, we will focus on discussing about the lever and the inclined plane and how these simple machines are being used. So what object do you use to open a bottle of soft drinks? How about sweeping the floor? Or removing a nail from wood? Yes, you're right. We use a bottle opener to open a bottle of soft drinks. while we use the broom to sweep the floor and a hammer to remove the nail from a wood. And these three objects are all levers. Lever is a simple machine that has a reed or stiff structure called bar. And this simple machine is used to push, pull, and lift things. Lever has three parts. The part that has a stiff structure called bar rotates around a fixed point called the fulcrum. And the force that is applied to one part of the bar is called the effort, while the force that resists or overcomes the effort is called the load. There are three classes of levers. We have the first class lever, the second class lever, and the third class lever. And each class has three parts: the fulcrum, load, and the effort. But they are located at different positions. First class lever. It is a lever with the fulcrum at the middle. The hammer, which you use in removing the nail, is an example of this lever. The load, which is the nail, is at the one end. The fulcrum, which is the place where the head of the hammer and the surface of the wood meet, is at the middle. And the effort applied is at the handle of the hammer. So other examples of first class levers are seesaw, crowbar, pair of scissors, and pliers. The seesaw can illustrate the law of lever, discovered by Archimedes. For a seesaw to balance, the effort multiplied by its distance from the fulcrum must equal the load multiplied by its distance to the fulcrum. For example, if there is a light person who is sitting on one end of the seesaw, to be able to balance a heavy person on the other end, the heavy person must sit closer to the fulcrum, and the light person must sit far from the fulcrum. So the next class of lever is the second class lever. Second class lever is a lever with the load between the fulcrum and the effort. The bottle opener is an example of this lever. The bottle cap, which is the load, is at the middle of the fulcrum. So part of the opener touching the surface of the bottle cap. And the effort is at the handle. So other examples of a second class lever include the wheelbarrow, stapler, nutcracker, and nail clippers. And the last class of lever is the third class lever. It is a lever with the effort is between the fulcrum and the load. The tongue that we use to get something is an example of this lever. The object that you pick using the tongue, which is at the end, is the load. The part which you hold is the effort. and the fulcrum is at the other hand. Broom, fishing rod, tweezers, mops, and shovel are all examples of third-class levers. Good job, grade 6! Now that we already know what lever is and what are the three classes of levers, let's proceed to the second simple machine. The simple machines that are included in the inclined plane family have slopes that aid in performing certain tasks. Inclined planes, wedges, and screws belongs to this group of simple machines. So what can you say about the picture? Is it easier for the man to transfer the barrel from the ground to a higher place using this piece of wood? The answer is yes, of course. Inclined plane is a flat surface whose one end is higher than the other to lift heavy objects with relatively little effort. In our picture, less force is needed to lift an object using an inclined plane as compared when the boxes or the barrel are lifted with the bare hands. A ramp is usually used by people to carry heavy loads to a higher place with lesser effort. Stairs is also an example of an inclined plane. We all know that it helps people to move to a higher place with less effort. So other examples of inclined planes are sloping roads, chisels, hatchets, plows, air hammers, carpenter planes, and wedges. So one of the reasons why we use machines or simple machines in our daily activities is machines multiply speed. A dressmaker can finish 3 or 4 dresses a day with a sewing machine. This she cannot do simply by using her hands. We can easily transfer heavy objects to a higher place with less effort using a ramp. Machines multiply force. One needs to exert less force to pull out nails with the use of a claw hammer. An auto machines can lift an automobile to change a flat tire by using a jack screw. And machines transform energy. A motor transforms electrical energy to mechanical energy. Heat energy is transformed to mechanical energy in steam or gas turbine. Electrical energy is transformed into sound energy by the radio or loudspeakers. And machines also transfer energy. Belts are used to operate the rice mill with the use of mechanical energy from a motor. Gears are widely used in transferring energy. And last, machines change the direction of a force. A single fixed pulley is used to raise the flag with the force going down. Another example is the crane. It is used to lift heavy objects. If you clearly understand our discussion, kindly tap the heart or like button below. So are you still there? To test your understanding about the simple machines, the lever, and the inclined plane, let's try this activity. You're going to choose the letter of the correct answer and just comment down your answer. Are you ready? Question number 1. It is a device consisting of few parts, used to work easier and faster by reducing the effort or force used in doing the work. Again, it is a device consisting of few parts, used to work easier and faster by reducing the effort or force used in doing the work. Is it A, simple machine, B, household machine, C, construction machine, or letter D, safety machine? Comment down your answer. Alright, the correct answer is simple machine. Question number 2. It is the point on which the lever turns. Again, it is the point on which the lever turns. Is it A, effort, B, fulcrum, C, load, or D, lever? Comment down your answer. Alright, the correct answer is letter B, fulcrum. So for our third question, what kind of lever is the seesaw? Again, what kind of lever is the seesaw? A, first class, B, second class, C, third class, or D, fourth class? Comment down the letter of your answer. Alright. Good job, grade 6. The correct answer is letter A, first class lever. And for our fourth question, it is flat surface whose one end is higher than the other to lift heavy objects with relatively little effort. Again, it is a flat surface whose one end is higher than the other to lift heavy objects with relatively little effort. Is it A, lever, B, inclined plane, C, wheel and axle, or letter D, pulleys? Comment down your answer. Very good. The correct answer is the letter B, inclined plane. And for our last question, which of the following simple machine is considered as inclined plane? Again, which of the following simple machine is considered as inclined plane? Is it A, wedge, B, pulleys, C, lever, or D, wheel and axle? Don't forget to comment down the letter of the correct answer. Good job, grade 6. The answer is letter A, wedge. Very good, grade 6 learners. I know that you really understand our lesson for today about simple machines. So for our hashtag Ask Your Science Teacher time, you can ask me some questions about our topic and I will do my best to answer them. So you may start typing down your questions in our comment box. All right, we have here two questions. The first question is, who made the first simple machine? We don't know who made the first simple machine. Evidence of wheels and axle goes back at least 5,000 years, and wedges are known to have existed before that. Simple machines have been around for thousands of years. This answer is from Veta at Basin Elementary School in Idaho City. And for our second question, Ma'am, among the simple machines you said a while ago, what do you think is the most useful? The answer is, it depends on what you need is. They are all very useful, and one is not any more important than the other. The most common machine is probably the wheel. So I hope that I answered all your questions today, but unfortunately, we don't have enough time to discuss all the things about simple machines. So don't forget to attend your virtual class tomorrow so that your science teachers may help you with all your concerns. Thank you for participating. But before we end our class, let us sum up all the important points in our lesson. Let us keep in our mind the following key ideas. Simple machines are any devices that make work easier and faster by reducing the effort or force used in doing the work. Lever is a simple machine that has a rigid or stiff structure called bar. And this simple machine is used to push, pull, and lift things. There are three classes of levers: the first class lever, second class, and the third class lever. And each class has the three main parts: the fulcrum, the load, and effort. But they are located at different positions. First class lever is a lever with the fulcrum at the middle, while the second class is a lever with the load between the fulcrum and the effort, and the third class lever is a lever with the effort between the fulcrum and the load. An inclined plane is a flat surface whose one end is higher than the other to lift heavy objects with relatively little effort. And for our homework, let us answer the activities in your module in science on page 28. Again, answer the activities in your module in science on page 28. Again, I'm Ma'am Ann Ramos Acuña reminding you that one machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men, but no machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. Thank you for your active participation today, and see you again next week for another Science Terrific episode here in Valenzuela Live.